Hello, everybody. This is Miss Baxter, and my light is in the way, so I'm trying to stand in front of it so you don't get too much of a glare. But what I'm going to do today is write out of our Elevate Science work text, and we have been learning about electricity and magnetism. And on page, I believe it's page 57. We are going to talk about electrical forces. And here's an experiment. How do you keep objects in the air? So, most of you do not have all of the tools that you need to do this experiment. So I figured it'd be easier and you will be able to see it if I did it from home. So, let's try. Move this over just a little bit. Okay. So here I had to put two containers. That's the problem with trying to do things on the computer because you can't see it. The camera's so high up, things need to be higher. So I have one styrofoam plate here. I feel like a magician. Here is another styrofoam plate here. And what it tells us to do is, if we read it, how can you keep objects in the air? Scientists investigate how forces interact to cause changes. How can you use forces to keep an object in the air without touching it? So the first procedure one is rub the cloth on one foam plate and then try to place the other plate on top of it and observe what happens. So here is my other plate. Here's my my cloth. Just a cloth that I usually use to clean my windows. All right, just a regular cloth, nothing special. Now, the purpose was to see if I will be able to, look at that. It's sticking to my hand. I'm trying to put it down. The plate is sticking to my hand. Look at this. It won't just fall. This part is literally stuck to my hand. So this is static electricity. And we tend to get static electricity when we rub our clothes or some type of cloth and then we touch something else. Sometimes it'll stick or we'll get that little shock. All right, so there's one experiment. So if you have two styrofoam plates at home and a cloth, see if it'll stick to your hand as well. Remember, only one plate is rubbed with a cloth. The other plate is not. So this is the reason why you don't have this, because the next one is PVC pipe. PVC pipe is just plastic pipe that looks like that. There's a hole in it. Ooh, looks like a bug or something in here. Maybe not. Oh, it's just the plastic on the end. Whew, made me nervous. I thought there was a spider inside of it. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to rub the PVC pipe with the cloth. And this is just a plastic bag that we usually would use to use for our groceries, even though we stopped selling plastic because it was harmful to the environment. We had way too much plastic going into our landfills. We talked about landfills. We talked about recycling. So now we are doing paper bags. As you may notice, your parents are bringing home paper bags. So I want to switch hands. So here it is. Uh-oh, hold on. That didn't work. Sometimes it doesn't work the way you want it to. But if you have any of this piping at home, let's see what happens. Oh, look at that. Look at that, everybody. Can you see what's happening? Do you see that? It's acting like you see that? You can see better on this.
I'm home.
Oh, my mother's calling me. Alright, I'll call her back. But it's actually acting like a magnet where it is trying to stick. So now we use two different types of cloth. So now I'm going to use the same type of cloth on both and see what happens. My phone hasn't rung all afternoon. And as soon as I start doing a lesson, my mama calls. I usually answer for her too. But I told her because of the storm, a lot of times the power in my house goes out. My electricity goes out. And if that happened, then I will be coming to her house to stay the night. All right, let's see. Let's see what happens now. Now, what you can't see, I must not have done it on the side, but what you can't see is that parts of it is pushing away, it's repelling. Let me see if I can do it again and get a better vision of what's going on. I gotta call my mom back soon. Let's try that again. I put on my finger so I'm not actually touching it. Can you see that? It's not even attracting. Remember before, when we put it close, it snapped right to it. Let me see that side. Oh, no, see here. This side was not, I don't know if you can tell. This side was not wiped with the towel. So this side is attached. I don't know if you can see that. Let me try it on this side. Okay, you see that? So let's try it on this side. See, it's not attaching on this side. Except the edges are trying, but the center is not. So, again, those are some things that you can try at home. If you have PVC piping, you can try different types of rags and materials. Let's try this one. This is a different rag. This is the one I use to wash my actual car. So let me see. If I use a different rag, will I get the same or a different result? Remember, the bag was wiped with the green, the one that I use for my windows. Let's see what happens. Oh, look, it's pushing away. Y'all see that? Look at this. Uh-oh. It's moving and I'm not touching it. Wow, how cool is that? So what has happened, we talked about magnetism. We talked about how opposites attract. If you have a positive charge and a negative charge, they come together like this and they attract. However, if they are the same, they repel. Remember, we did that with our magnets. We had the two magnets, which I don't have in front of me. But we did this on our last class session. And we could put the circle magnets together and they would stick together. And when we flipped it over, we could feel it repel or push away. So I was hoping that this would be a helpful experiment. I guess it was. If they are rubbed with the same, see if you can tell me what happens. If they are rubbed with different cloth, tell me what happens. We're going to write it in our book, our observations. We're going to draw a picture here, and we're going to show how it either attracts, which means it comes together, or it repels, which means it pushes back from each other. So, hopefully we all learned something. We watched this. We'll probably play this a couple times. I'll put this in Schoology. If you or your parents would like to try some of these experiments and do them again at a later date with just different materials, just to kind of see what happens. So thank you all for your time, and I will talk to you later. Goodbye.